Yes, it is that time again. It's Prime Week. I went through and found all of the deals that I could find for us music producers and songwriters and music creators that I think are the best bang for your budget, whether we're talking about MIDI controllers, interfaces, or more utility-based things that you might not have thought of, but are going to save you a lot of headache in the future. And remember, if you're watching this outside of Prime Day, these are still really great things for you to keep an eye on throughout the year because Prime Day happens multiple times. And these are always things that tend to go on sale. All the links for these things will be in the description. I do get a commission off those if you click. And if you don't want to, feel free to search on your own. But I think that these will be a good place for you guys to start and maybe go down the rabbit hole of finding, some stuff that are specifically catered to you on Amazon. Let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is one of my favorite things, the Arturia Mini Lab, on sale right now for $88, down from $109. It's a really, really great deal. And the one that I have is actually the Mini Lab Mark II. This is the Mini Lab Mark III, which upgrades a lot of the things that I actually don't like in mine. This brings back some faders on the Mark III that I really like, and they also have it in black, and it's a little more expensive in black, but they do have it in black if that's a thing that you care about. And while we're on looking at MIDI controllers, they also have the Akai, the MPK Mini Mark III, which is a super popular one. It's got, a good XY knob toggle thing, some good pads, and some knobs that you can assign to places. It's a 25 key MIDI controller. It's a really, really good one. And they do have other options all at the same price. They have the normal black and red that you see here, but then they also have a black on black, and they have a gray, and they have a inverted white and black option as well. All of them are sitting around $83, down from $100. This is a really good one. I know a lot of people really, really like this piece of gear in particular. And if you're looking for something a little more than 25 keys, they also have the 37 key option of the Akai Professional MPK Mini Plus. So slightly bigger, little larger pads, little more knobs, little more things that you can do with it. It's a little bit bigger option. If that's something that you need, they have that. They have the black model and the white model. The white model is cheaper. So yeah, these are some really, really great options. If you're in the market for a great MIDI controller, I can attest to the Arturia personally. I absolutely love that MIDI controller, and it got me through and continues to get me through a lot of travel things whenever I need a tiny MIDI controller. And I don't necessarily want to take the ones that I keep on my desk all the time. It's a great travel option, or if you're getting started out, it's a great first option for you as well. It was one of my first that I got, and I absolutely love it. Moving on to audio interfaces, we have the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which, I am not the biggest fan of, and I've said that in the past. However, I have heard that the Mark IV, with the 4th gen, which this is, has fixed a lot of the issues that I have had with it previously, which has been, there's been some issues with, transferring audio. It feels like it degrades the audio a little bit too much, or it's just the preamps are a little thin and not great sometimes, or they have been previously. And I've been told by a lot of people that I trust a whole lot that the 4th gen of this option is way better and fixes a lot of the issues that I had with the Mark III and down models of the Scarlett 2i2. So this is down 14% to $180, $190. And it's a fantastic option for you. They also have, if you are looking for more than just 2 inputs, some other options. The 4i4 is also on sale. The Solo, if you need even less, but the 4i4, and then some of the other, I believe the 16 is also on sale as well. If that's something that you need more inputs or whatever, you need more than just 2 inputs. And then also, if you're not super pumped about the Focusrite, but you want more of the universal audio side of things, we also have the Universal Audio Volt 2, which I think is a really great option as a replacement from the Focusrite Scarlett. And if you're thinking about getting into the universal audio plugins, as an option, this is going to be a great start into that ecosystem. Before the 4th generation fixed all of the problems of the 2i2, I tended to recommend this as its replacement best option. It's 180, so we're looking like $10 cheaper, and it's does great. They have great preamps, in my opinion, and it gets you in that ecosystem, still with 2 combo jack interface options, inputs for XLR and 1/4 inch. So yeah, there's some great options here for brand new. And then we also have, if you just need one, but you want something a little different, we have the Universal Audio 176 USB, which is single input combo jack down here on the bottom. And it's a great option if you're, once again, wanting to get into the universal audio side of things, but you are looking for just a little bit more. This has some really great compression built into it. It actually has the 1176 style compression. It's hard to see, but it says it right there on the top. It says 76 compressor. And then it's also got a vintage mode, which just makes everything sound a little bit different, gives you some more options when you're, tracking. If you want a vocal or a bass or a guitar or whatever you might be tracking to sound slightly different, does give you some more options as you're tracking. And to be honest, if you're looking for a travel interface, these are also really, really great travel interfaces. Or if you're a beginner and you're just getting into this, I can recommend all 3 of these interfaces. They're fantastic deals. And like I said, if you're unable to get into the Prime Day deals that are happening right now, I would highly recommend you just kind of keep an eye on some of these. These are ones that you can add to like a list or something, because things like these go on sale pretty often, specifically with Prime Day or, other random weekends, Christmas weekends, or whatever times they run sales. Like if you keep them in a list, it'll keep track of it all the time for you. And you can make sure that, if you see that there's a sale going, you can always go check and make sure that those are on sale or not. Little trick there for you. All right, if we're looking for a great pair of headphones, I recently interviewed my good friend Sam Bowman, who actually fully 100% makes his living mixing and producing on the set of Sony MDR headphones, which is crazy to me. When I talked to him about it, it was nuts. And if you want to check it out, I will make sure to link to that video down below and also up in the top there. But this is just a crazy good deal. Down from $100 to $83. It's a great pair of tracking headphones or monitoring headphones. If it's, you just need to get some work done, you're editing, but it's late at night and you don't want to bother people, or maybe you want to go to a coffee shop and work, but you don't necessarily need to, you don't want to use like just your AirPods or anything like that, because you need to be able to hear more detail. These are a great option for you for that. These are in almost every studio I've ever been in. I think I own like a pair or 2 somewhere around here. And yeah, they're great headphones. They're workhorse headphones for you. They'll last you a while. And like I said, they sound really, really good especially for the price. You could definitely get started making music with these and not have to worry about buying speakers and treating a room. You can just get started with these and just start making stuff. Next up, if you're looking for something like this mic stand I have right here, we have the Beacon mic stand, which is a really good option for that. If it's something that, you want to either start doing content like I'm doing right now, where I have a mic in front of me, or you just want to be able to have a mic always around, and you can just hand it off to people and keep it on the stand attached to your desk. Kind of cleans up everything a little bit more. These are a great option. It's $100 for the Beacon mic stand. It's down from $120, and it comes in black or white, dark or white, not necessarily black, but dark or white colorings. And yeah, these are great options for $100 that I think are pretty sturdy. And so if you're looking for something like this, I'd highly recommend these. So now we're going to talk about some more utility-based things, and I'm really passionate about having a lot of external hard drives. I have like 4 or 5 of them, and I'm probably going to end up getting another one as well on top of the ones that I have, because we work with a lot of files, we work with a lot of samples, we work with a lot of different sounds, lots of sound libraries, depending on the genre of music that you're doing. I think it's super important for you to be able to access those things quickly. So for that, the Samsung T7, it's a great solid state hard drive. It's super tiny. It is extremely fast. And the key part of this is if you are working with a lot with samples, you're working a lot with VST instruments, using a lot of Native Instruments type stuff, then this one is going to be a really great one for you. At $113, it's a 2 terabyte solid state hard drive. I wouldn't recommend this being your main hard drive for backing up things. There are other options for that I think are better. However, this, for especially you people getting started, and maybe you're working on like a laptop and you don't have a lot of storage, but you want to keep a lot of samples or get more sound libraries on your computer, this is a really great option for that, because you can set it to store all of the sounds, which is the large part of your storage issues, onto this, and then it'll read all of your sounds off of your hard drive. And this is fast enough that you won't have any issues with lag or any kind of loading problems. Or if you're doing what I'm doing and you're shooting content for the internet, this is a really great thing to work off for footage as well. I got friends that are filmmakers and editors that work primarily off of these type of SSD cards. And they're, like I said, they're super fast. They're fantastic. You can get it in blue. The red one's out, but you can get it in gray for 120 or the blue for 114. This is even going to be something that I'm going to snag as well. So the next couple things I'm going to mention aren't music related in the most direct sense, but they are related in the sense of you trying to grow and turn this into like a full-time job. You know, if you want to get a lot of work, you'd have to do things like put out content with you showing what you do or having conversations, or maybe you just want to start like a side thing. These are some really great options for you there. The Hollyland Lark Mark II wireless microphones. They're these really tiny microphones about the size of a quarter, and they come in this charging case that's really cool. And they not only go into your phone, but also there's the option to run it into a camera like the one I'm using right now. And I've run entire podcast episodes off this before with my podcast, the Home Studio Hangout podcast. I've shot content on it before driving in the car with some friends. If you're just kind of stepping into this, these are an incredible thing to just kind of have all the time. I would recommend, if you have the money, just grabbing the combo version of all of them. It's great to have every option, because you never know what you're going to be shooting on. You never know whose phone you're going to be shooting on. Maybe you're working for somebody else doing like a for hire gig. And it's great to just have these as a backup. Run them in your phone, run them into your camera, just to capture some extra audio just in case. If you're wanting to upgrade from maybe your phone camera, but maybe you want to, shoot kind of similar to what I'm doing right now, like a pretty static shot, or maybe you need to shoot something for, vertical content for either your artist or you yourself, if you're self-producing, would highly recommend grabbing the OBSpot Meet 2 4K webcam. I'm going to end up snagging one of these as well, and I'm actually going to end up putting it above my tracking space to use for vertical content, so that while me and some of my artists that we produce content together for are working, we're going to be able to use this and grab, really raw reaction moments of, we're writing a song, we're working on a song, we're, doing whatever, and like being able to capture those moments and, not miss anything, but also not necessarily have to like, oh, well, I need to get my camera and run a bunch of stuff on a card. No, I can just run this OBSbot into OBS and just have that going all the time with some audio running to it as well through my interface, and be capturing constantly while I'm just working and doing my regular production stuff, so I don't miss that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you really you wish that you had that moment, like that aha moment, like on camera, that moment that you say something and it just happens to work exactly. Being able to have that just caught on camera running all the time is just going to be like super helpful. So I'm actually going to be getting one of these myself. And I've heard a lot of great things about it from people in the streaming world, and like people like Harris Heller and a couple others that have reviewed these that are really, really great, and they're super tiny. And that's a big part of why I want them as well. And they're down from $130 to just $100. They're down $30, which is a crazy good deal. So would highly recommend you snagging one of those like myself. Now, this last one is special to me, and I think that every single music producer or every single artist should be doing this thing, and that's reading. If you know anything about this channel, you know I've done some book stuff in the past, and I plan on doing it more in the future as well. And I would highly recommend, especially right now, snagging a Kindle. $84, $85. There's some other options as well. But I would really recommend just snagging a Kindle and start getting your books. You can get the books cheaper on Amazon Kindle. Like the Kindle version of the books tend to be cheaper because, you know, you're not buying a physical book. With some of them, you can even do your audiobooks through them. If you have like Bluetooth headphones, you can connect to them. You can even do your audiobooks through them, which is super cool. Reading is probably one of the best ways to really keep yourself going. You can, whether you're reading for enjoyment like I do, you know, I love to read fantasy and science fiction novels, or like I've done for the channel in the past, reading business books or books about music creators or producers, or, you know, even people like Andrew Wong. I've read Andrew Wong's book and it was on Kindle and it was fantastic. So I think snagging something like a Kindle would be extremely beneficial for you, whether you read right now or not, or if it's something you're trying to get into. Highly recommend it, and this is a great deal to grab it. All right, those are some of my favorite recommendations that I've found going through Amazon on Prime Day. If you want to check out any of those for yourself, I have links in the description. I get a little bit of a commission off that, and that just goes back to help me making the channel, paying for things like editors and paying for things like equipment and cameras and things like that. So yes, it would be super helpful if you don't mind clicking there. If not, no big deal. Just feel free to go search. These are some really great options that I think will last you for a really long time and get you started making music, or even if you're just a songwriter. These are some really great options, like the headphones and the Scarlett 2i2 or the Universal Audio stuff. I think is really great things for you to have as an entry point into just making your own music and start dabbling with music creation. I think it's really great options for you. And hey, if you're just getting started in music production, I actually have a video right over here that I want to send you to that's going to help you learn more about getting started and maybe the things that you might need to look at when thinking about diving into music production for the first time. So click right over here and I'll see you in that video later.